Hey, thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're glad that you're with us, rocking with us. We appreciate you. And, we got another just wonderful show lined up for you this week. We have Quikdraw as our special guest. And of course, we have music industry news, the good stuff that's going on that you need to know about, so you can be aware, pull ideas for yourself, and, make things happen. And beats produced by yours truly. So yeah, I'm excited about this as always. It's one of my favorite times of the week, and I'm feeling good about it. How about you, Breezy?
Oh man, we're getting some folks that are tuning in, right around the hood and so on and so forth. But see, what I'm learning quickly is that the hood could be Spain, the hood could be Italy, Australia. There's a lot of places where the hood is, and it's all good. So I just want to say thank you to those folks who've been tuning in and, from right around the corner where we live and right around the other side of the globe.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely appreciate you. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and dip into some beats by yours truly. And when we come back, we'll be rocking with Quikdraw. So make sure you stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am thrilled and delighted to announce that we have the super duper talented Quikdraw on the line with us in the virtual building. How you doing?
Blessings to you. I'm doing okay. God bless you and everybody around you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, we're really glad to have you. And so if you could just kind of let everybody know a little bit about who is Quikdraw, like when you got into music, what's your motivation, and yeah, what do you want the folks to know?
Awesome. I actually used to go by the name Nameless the Prince because I was my father's only son, so I always felt like I was a prince because family was everything, or is everything. So my father was king. I changed my name to Quikdraw because I actually formulated an attachment to legally purchased firearms and things of that nature, and I was always quick on rapping and coming up with things off the top of my head with freestyles and certain people. And so I just tried to mesh what I loved with what I loved doing. And it came to where I was quick at the tongue, quick on the draw. So Quikdraw just seemed like it fit. I started doing music probably back in 1996, back when Drummond Jordan was doing performances at Lincoln School Auditorium. And from there, I stopped for a while. And I met a wonderful guy by the name of Goody Boy Flood. Shout out Goody Boy Flood, PSIDL Crows, Views, and China D. We actually linked up over some music one night, and they blessed me into the group. And we, long story short, started doing composing music together and doing shows together. And there was a certain part of my musical aspect that was different, but attainable and attractive to what the group needed. So we just started doing shows together. And 36th Street Lounge, Papa Pete's, a lot of local stuff around town. And we're still super cool until this day, although I started doing some solo projects, and then things started to take a different turn, which kind of, turned up. Mm-hmm. And so once I started to do solo music, I actually started to relate to what was inside me. As in, I wanted to make music that make people feel good. Even though my name is Quikdraw, I really don't rap too much about guns or using guns and none of that stuff. I don't have drill music or nothing like that. I just try to make insightful music because whenever I develop the music, I'm usually going through a certain part of my life where I'm bleeding out. So within the ministration of emotions, I usually come up with a lot of big words, which some form of poetry turns into a song. So I guess as a quick rundown, that's how I ended up composing music and trying to relate to people in ways that other people weren't doing it. Just as one of the last things, I feel like music is lyrical intimacy. If you can make a song that puts a person in an emotion or takes them out of an emotion, every single time they hear that song is intimate with them mentally. So lyrical intimacy is more of what I would like to call it.
Man, that's such a beautiful way to put it. So well, can you tell us a little bit about your creative process? Like, how do you get in the zone?
Unfortunately, most of my zones come from pain, but I wouldn't say pain as in negative. Sometimes we need pain in order to learn. As in the child that reaches up on the stove and burns his hand, he knows now that stove is hot, nothing to play with. When I have to succumb to different parts of life with other people's emotions and other people's atmosphere, then I have to adapt and accept that. And with acceptance comes growth. So a lot of the music that I make is accepting the people that are around me and growing within myself, while trying to explain to them what I'm going through without sounding soft or whatnot. And so that's the weird thing about the related part about my music is I didn't know people were going through the stuff I was going through. I didn't know that there was a lot of people dealing with pain or heartbreak or dealing with the loss of a family member or dealing with trying to wake up every day and just keep moving. You need a song that puts you in that motivational atmosphere where you can just thrive. It's a beautiful thing when you can do that for people. there's a lot of artists mainstream right now that, I may not listen to their entire CD, but they might make a song or have that one chorus that just motivates me and moves me. And I feel like if I've ever done that for anybody, which I have, then that's exactly what was supposed to happen within that moment.
Man, that's incredible when you say so, Breeze.
Yeah, I would agree. And I like that you, in the early stages of your conversation, you brought up the word poetry, okay? And which I get mystified sometimes because there are people who are artists, especially hip-hop artists, but they seem to keep a arm's length away from the word poetry. I don't know why they do that, because to me, it's all under the same umbrella. But once you brought that term up in what you were saying, that just was like an automatic draw for me. I'm like, okay, then you get to openly take advantage and make the most of all the connections with all of the different phases of the poetry vocabulary, as well as the artist vocabulary as well. Okay, so to me, when you stir them all up together, that's a good thing to me.
Absolutely. The one thing that, not to cut you off, I really appreciate what you just said. The one thing that a true artist or a true poet that enjoys their art understands is that, like you said, you have to mix everything up. You can't make a cake with one ingredient. A lot of people don't know that in order to make a pound cake, you have to use yeast and vanilla extract. Those are two things that if you were to put them side by side, they would never coincide. But when you mix them together with flour and sugar and a little bit of love, tender love and care, that makes a cake, and that cake can feed an entire neighborhood. So along with music, you have to have the ingredients. You have to have the things you're going through, the expression, the knowledge, the pain, but you also have to be aware of your listeners or your followers and the demographic audience that your genre is trying to reach. Along with that comes a successful song if you're able to present it the right way.
Yeah, all good. See, I'm already on your list. Already on.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I like that. Yeah.
I was chilling with Achickwitbeatz and her husband last weekend, and I stated something, and I know she wouldn't mind if I brought this up. An artist has to have an atmosphere, okay? An artist has to have energy, and an artist has to have pressure. Now, the one thing that I feel makes a true artist or makes followers for that artist, or at least if not followers, makes people understand and adhere to that artist, is his atmosphere. When your energy is higher than your pressure, then you're not relatable. When your pressure is higher than your energy, then you're unobtainable. So the one thing that makes a great artist is for his pressure and his pressure and his atmosphere to somewhat be at a level to where the listeners can feel it, the artist can display it and present it the correct way without being fake. And that right there creates barometric pressure. When your atmosphere is correct with your energy, you can create pressure. When your energy is correct with your pressure, you can create an atmosphere for your audience. And I feel like anybody who doesn't do that within their music or within their fans or within their lyrical intimacy joyride that they're giving the people listening to them, it's hard for you to actually believe in that person and believe what they're saying, or at least relate to them spiritually. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. And so I feel like in order for my spirit to relate to people through my music, I have to have the correct atmosphere, the correct pressure, and that will have the right energy for my audience.
So that's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, as soon as he said that, I was like, man, everybody's got to hear that. When you say Breeze.
Oh yeah.
Deeply appreciate it. There's a lot of people that make great songs, but it's mostly just the beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate to use the term, but the term is applicable where
yes.
It's almost a magnetic flow because they're intertwined, and from what you're saying, and it's just like a attraction marketing. It's like attraction artistry. Okay, and so that's all good with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I know you kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but what's been your favorite performance of your career, whether in studio or on stage?
One of the this is awesome. Shout out PS Gang, shout out Blaine, shout out Mario, shout out Sino, shout out Ray. I want to shout out them because shout out John Rowe from Lionheart Entertainment. I had to start out that way because I was given opportunities when I started my solo stuff, and I performed at the Loft in Lansing for a Jelly Roll concert. I know everybody knows Jelly Roll's been booming down south and everything. Jelly Roll and Struggle, Doobie Bandit, Whitney Payton, and they were all performing that night. We ended up selling out, and I was as nervous as I could possibly be. Me being Quikdraw, I finally made my own clothing. So I made my own clothing. So I finally got on stage first night with my own clothes. I gave each of those artists a shirt. I just wanted to give it to them just to express my gratitude for them coming. I brought blow-up balloons. I had a 6-foot Corona bottle. I had a 3-foot Modelo bottle, all blow-up bottles. I had shirts and little keychains and lanyards and stuff like that. The reason why I'm saying that is because DJ E Nice, shout out DJ E Nice. When the performance started, I was a little nervous. The crowd was amazing, so it helped me warm up and become welcome to them. I had all these things that I brought to, I'm going to sell this stuff. Once I just felt the energy and the vibe from the crowd, I just started throwing stuff off stage. I threw the balloons off stage. They were throwing the balloons around the crowd and passing them back and forth. And it was just awesome to see that vibe and that energy. And to know that I was open enough for somebody who's now mainstream, like I say, Jelly Roll, and shout out Jelly Roll, Doobie Bandit. Whitney Payton's doing her thing, which is awesome. Shout out Crash. It was an experience that was first off amazing, and that feeling has probably never left. The set that I did that night was actually really awesome. DJ E Nice had it put down in a great way, but that was the first time that I put together my own set of music. Of course, when you do a set of music, you have a compilation of, to not make your crowd boring, you should have 3 to 5 songs, limit them from 1 minute to 1 minute, 20 seconds, because you guys know as well as I do, in order for someone who is intoxicated or feeling good to listen to you and not get bored, you have to give them 60 seconds and then switch, because a lot of people have other things going on with them, ADHD, PTSD, so they can't focus on one thing for a long period of time. So the great way to make a great set is to put as much music as you can in a compilation, have that be replicable to the actual setting of the main artists that are on stage. So I just feel like that was the best performance that night at the Loft, opening up for Jelly Roll and Struggle, Whitney Payton and Doobie Bandit, because the way everything went, the vibe that was in the air, and the compilation of music that I put together seemed to hit just right and also coincide with the rest of the show atmosphere.
Man, that sounds like a phenomenal time. I mean, yeah, that had to be awesome.
QUIKDRAW, Quikdraw McGraw. These things are on my Quikdraw page. I haven't really moved a lot of stuff on there lately, so I know that they're still there. Might have to dig. Like I said, this was not like I said, but as I'm saying, that show would have been 2017 or 2018 or something. Of course, COVID stopped a lot of everything. Mm-hmm. But these things that I'm saying, there's videos up on my Facebook page, and as the younger kids say, there's no cap in my rap, and everything that I say can be vouched for. As if you go to my Quikdraw page, the very first picture is I believe it's me and Struggle holding hands, and then my cover photo is me and Jelly Roll. I made a shirt for his show and he signed for me and everything like that. But it wasn't on the group of stuff. We were chilling. He walked out from backstage. As soon as he saw me, he said, "Black Cowboy." Now, the reason why they call me Black Cowboy, there's one thing that I didn't implement in the story. My wardrobe that night, like I said, I made my own shirt. Now, I had on my shoulder holster, this Black Hawk shoulder holster for my firearm. I had handcuffs on my belt buckle. And I also had a belt with a 6-shooter rotational revolver so you could twist, you could turn the belt like as if there was bullets on it. And so when they met me and they embraced me, they're like, "Where you from? You from down south?" And I'm from up here. And it was neat that when they actually came back for the next tour, he asked John Rowley, say, "Yo, is the Black Cowboy gonna be there?" And John was like, "Who?" He said, "The Black Cowboy, the guy with the gun holster, the belt buckle." And it stuck. It stuck because I tried to implement the image, and that's exactly what worked. But it wasn't obtrusive or audacious. It was subtle enough for people to understand what I was trying to be and who I was trying to be as an artist, what I was trying to present. So when I spoke on music, I was easy to look at and also easy to hear. And I feel like visuals are great with a performance. Actually, visuals are 90% of a performance. What you're saying is about 10%, because most of the time people already know what you're going to say if they like your music or if they like your vibe. If they've heard a song, then they want to hear that. But if you're not visually attainable, then that'll actually turn away some people, especially when you're in a club environment or whatnot.
Right, man. So, I know we've only barely scratched the surface. So, we definitely gotta have you back again soon. But real quick before we head out, I just want to make sure that everybody knows, where they can follow you, where they can listen to your music. So drop your socials and all that good stuff.
Cool. I'm on Facebook. It's Quikdraw McGraw. It's Quikdraw, capital MCGRAW. I've had some things up there. I've done some awesome music with Mike Akins. I'm actually on Instagram also. It's Quikdraw173. My Instagram photo is it's me and Lazy Bone. I met Lazy Bone on his Perfect Timing tour when he came to the Loft, and I wanted to state that as the most important meeting of, and we'll leave that for the next session, but it's one of the most important meetings with a star or a legend that I would like to say, because I actually made his clothing for that night, and he put it on and took all his pictures with all his fans in the shirt that I made for him for the Perfect Timing tour. It was amazing.
Awesome.
So yeah, Quikdraw McGraw on Instagram, Quikdraw McGraw 173, Snapchat next to last 173. Facebook is Quikdraw McGraw, and I don't hide from anybody. I don't have nothing to hide, and I love no pride. So I can literally give my government name, Eli Israel. You can follow me just to be real or be personable, or if you want to talk or have something that you would like to inquire about what we spoke about today, I'm definitely open. I'm not a closed book. I'm just a human being. So I enjoy people, and this is the reason why we do music.
All right. Well, that's what's up. So yeah, we can't wait to have you back, and I'll let Breezy have the closing thoughts.
All right. I just want to say real quick, deeply appreciate you. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you, Achickwitbeatz. I really appreciate y'all and allowing me the opportunity to have this time on your platform. I greatly appreciate you.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, it's really been royal. Thank you for stepping in with us and sharing of your vibe to all our listeners, as well as us right here on the network. So I've got nothing but great things in my mind for you on the way down the road and around the corner. So just keep doing what you're doing and keep blessing people with your positivity.
I appreciate you. I will do. We all live with certain times, and we can't cuss on here.
No, well, preferably not.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. But I know we all deal with poop. So there's times in life where we all need to remember to flush. And it's not about how much poop you have on your shoulders. It's about how many times you remember to flush. It's all about going with the flow.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll have you back again. Thanks for sharing your time, energy, and wisdom with us.
Yes, ma'am. Greatly appreciate it, Breezy. I greatly appreciate you. Y'all have a blessed day. God bless everybody that's listening. God bless your families. Remember, respect everybody around you. Love everybody around you. Make it happen. Don't let it happen.
Man, it was really, really great to have him on. Just tons of wisdom and knowledge, and I was really glad that he came through to share that with us, and I'm looking forward to having him back, and maybe even dropping in every now and then with some of those gems like Sean Cobain does.
Hey, that's all right. It's all good.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna get back to some beats by yours truly, and then we'll be back with music industry news after this. with music industry news. First up, man, I was just delighted when I heard about this. Big Boy is, of Outkast, of course, is developing a series. So it's going to be a music mentorship / DIY studio makeover project where he'll be helping out, new and upcoming musicians revamp their basements, garages, bedrooms, closets, like you name it, into professional recording spaces. And he's not just doing this, but also will be teaching them about the ins and outs of the business as well. And I'm happy that we'll get to tune in and kind of watch it as it happens. It's always new TV shows and stuff coming out, but this one, I mean, it's just impactful on multiple levels. And the fact that he's willing to take his time and talents to mentor, new musicians is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's really incredible. And that's something like candy falling out of the sky. Okay, so on a big level. And so that's great news for a whole lot of people.
It really is. So yeah, kudos to him, because he's at that point in his career to where he could just sit back and coast if he wants to. He didn't have to reach back out or, come up with new opportunities, even with the recent makeover of the dungeon and having that up for Airbnb. Like, yeah, it's just awesome. So kudos to him.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to 69 I Am Billy, which is Billy Odom, the one and only guitar player that has been with them for years and years, way back in the SWATs. And every time they get a riff together, they call Billy to come in and put some guitar stuff in all of their music for the whole Dungeon family. So shout out to Billy.
Yes. All right. And also in the second quarter, Spotify announced that their subscriptions grew to 165 million. So they say the average monthly revenue per subscriber is $5.06. And the premium subscribers have grown up to $2.43 billion, and the ad-supported revenue was $325. So that means that they're making more money, and at $5.06 per subscriber, I think they can afford to actually pay at least a penny per stream now. So we'll see what happens. Some of that money needs to be coming back to the artists who actually make the platform what it is. So, I'm always kind of interested to see how things are going over there for them financially, and seeing if that's actually reflected in the payments that artists receive.
Yeah, good points of view. And stuff changes every day. And so, yeah, I'm glad you brought that topic up.
Yes. And so there was a study called Seat at the Table by Women in Control, and that's CTRL. But they find that women are still underrepresented in music industry trade bodies. So according to the report, the share of board seats held by Black women has doubled, although it's from a low base. So it went up from 5 in 2020 to 11 in 2021. And there's still no Black women CEOs or chairs. So there's definitely some room for growth. But, shout out to them for conducting the study to make sure that people are aware, and it's pushed to the forefront of the mind, to give women, and especially women of color, different opportunities within the field. Because, there's a lot with a lot of talent, a lot of know-how, women who've been around the industry and know how to navigate it, but not really getting their just due or their props for it. So, yeah, shout out to Women in Control for keeping an eye on it and making sure that the public is informed.
Good stuff. Good deal.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to get back to some more beats by yours truly, and we'll be back with the second half of music industry news right after this. we're back with part 2 of music industry news. This is up. My McDonald's has announced a new meal collab with Saweetie, building on their successful trend of collaborating with musicians. And one thing we were just talking about before the break about women not really getting their props in the music industry. So this is pretty cool that they've awarded this opportunity to her, because she doesn't really have the same level of superstardom as a Travis Scott or BTS, who have previously had McDonald's deals. But she does have over 12 million Instagram followers. So McDonald's decided they still want a chunk of that. Doesn't matter if she has the same name recognition or not. But yeah, they still want in on what she's doing. So congratulations to her. And yeah, good things popping. Collaboration is always great anytime artists can get endorsement deals. You work so hard to build your audience and relate to them with the music that you put out. So it's always a successful thing, a glad thing when they get to kind of cash in on that a little bit.
Yeah, and shout out to Good Morning America 3, GMA 3, which broadcasts every afternoon on the ABC television network, usually 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. East Coast. They did a very, very distinctive segment on her about 3 weeks ago, and did some background biography, and so on and so forth. And she was a star high school athlete that accomplished a lot in that realm, but also was a star in the books. So, when you push through there with nothing but straight A's for a distinguished length of time like she has, so, hey, some rewards are coming back in her direction.
Yes, that's so awesome. Oh, right. And we've been mentioning a few times about the company Reservoir, but, just in case you're new to the show or, haven't really heard of them, they're a music rights company, and basically they've just been buying up music rights in all these different various forms. And so now we let you know they were going to be going public, and now it's actually on the NASDAQ, trading under the ticker RSBR. So they launched back in 2007 in New York City. Since then they've opened up offices in LA, Nashville, London, Toronto, Abu Dhabi, and of course they made big news when they bought up Chrysalis Records and Tommy Boy Records. So as of now, they represent over 130,000 copyrights and 36,000 master recordings, with titles going as far back as 1900. So, and they've also recently joined a partnership in China. So, another marketing services company. So they're getting involved in all these different aspects. And, their CEO is a woman. So that's, awesome as well. So, we'll keep you informed on their progress. But that's one of those names like you're kind of hearing every now and then. It'd pop up with different things, but it's happening more and more frequently. And now that they're going public, I think that there's some big news stories that are going to be coming from them. We'll be talking about them almost as much as we talk about NFTs, probably, but not really.
Okay. Well, hey, stuff is happening. People are doing things. All kinds of creations are being made each and every day. So get with it.
Yes, absolutely. And, speaking of getting with stuff, I say get ready for an explosion in music distributors. So Distro Direct decided to launch a white label business-to-business platform. So what that means is they got their software that's going to allow any music business to add digital distribution to their current repertoire. So whatever they're offering, they'll be able to distribute people under their own brand. So with them allowing this to be kind of a DIY thing, that means a lot of independent artists can get in on the game if that's what they're looking for. So yeah, this is Distro Direct. And, if you've ever dreamt of becoming a distributor, this will be a great opportunity for you. So, as we get more information, we'll make sure that we share it with you. But yeah, this is definitely something to keep an eye out for. And it will be some major platforms. Some of the ones, we've talked about this before. A lot of people say, oh, it's available on all platforms, but there's so many out there that people tend to miss. But, this is going to be encompassing a lot of those that, most of us in the States weren't necessarily familiar with because they operate heavily, overseas. So, yeah, this is a big, big, big opportunity. Make sure that you stay plugged in.
Go for it. Hey, great stuff.
Yes. All right. Now we're going to take, another music break, and we'll be back before we head out for the night.
Okay.
right, and that does it for us for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. It's always a good time. I get a lot of excitement, sharing all this goodness. The music culture is something that's very, very, vital. And it's just something that I love sharing. And, I always have a great time talking with you about this stuff, Breezy, because you have this perspective and insight that I always learn from. So, yeah, like I said before, it's one of my favorite times of the week. And I'm very glad that you guys decided to tune in and hang out with us while we do it.
And well, thank you for saying that. But, it goes without much thought that, hey, we're in a woman power season, okay? And for so long, and even now, there have been situations that have popped up, and whether it's in business, whether it's in entertainment, no matter what it's involved, where there are a lot of women who are capable, they're coming up with great ideas, and they're doing making fantastic things happen. And so, we make it a point right here to bring some accents to that, so people know, people understand, and we put them on the spotlight. So, and one of those people in the spotlight is you. So we just want to make sure that the listeners follow you, tag behind you, and partake of what you're doing with your business. And so shout out to you, Achickwitbeatz.
Thank you so much. All right, so you know what? We'll be back next week doing the same thing, same time, same place. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then.
Peace.